Two of the most common sale types you'll do are department sales and retail sales or inventory sales. So we'll go to sales, we'll go to department sales here, and we're going to create a new sales order. So we'll click on sales order, and at the bottom here we'll click new. And if we know all or part of the department name, we can type it in here and it'll search for the department. If there's only one department with those three letters at the beginning, it'll show up automatically. If there are more, then you'll have a drop-down list and you can choose from the drop-down list. We'll choose the address here, and there's only one contact person, so that person shows up. And this account is the debit account. It's the account with which the department will purchase from you, and it'll be part of a journal entry export file later on. So now we'll put in the date of the invoice, and we're going to simulate you scanning a barcode label, an inventory barcode label. So when you scan the label, the number will appear here, and this action will take place. It'll look up the item and it'll place your cursor right where it should be in the quantity field. You can then type in the quantity, and the price has been extended. If there was a quantity greater than one, of course, it would multiply out, and there's 0 left in stock. So we go ahead and we'll save this line item. This is a required field, the delivery type, so it's asking me to fill that out before I save this line item. So I can go ahead and save this line item, and then I can look up others and do the same thing. So when we finished our list of items, and we always save them with this little icon here, then we can go ahead and save the main record, and then we can choose the method of payment, and they're going to use their department account, and the account number will be the same debit account number as shown at the top here. But if for whatever reason they need to use a different account, then you can edit this account number here, and then you'll type in the amount of the purchase and save it with this little icon here, and now you can print out a receipt to give to the person from the department, and they can take the receipt with them, and it shows them the account number they've used to pay. So the second type is very similar. So if we're doing an inventory sale, and of course we can rename these captions to your nomenclature. This is selling to the public, and it's a very similar process. There is a generic retail customer. So if you aren't capturing your customer information, there's a generic retail customer that will come up automatically when you click the new button. But if you are capturing customer information, then you can look up an existing customer here and make the sale to that customer. And then we'll do the same thing. We're going to look up an inventory number by scanning in the barcode, and then when we hit the magnifying glass here, it will bring up that item for us, and we can type in the quantity and then save that line item. And again, you can do as many of these as you need to on a particular sales order. And then when we click the save button at the bottom, we can make the payment. And so if we're doing cash, then of course, and let's say they give you $4, so it will, when you click OK, it'll put it in here, and you can go ahead and save this, and the amount of change will remain here until you've given the change. It's just a reminder to give the change. I'm going to cancel that and show you some of the other ones. So if you chose credit card, for example, and you typed in the amount of $317, when you click on this little save icon, it'll pop up this screen, and you can swipe the card into a card swipe that is between, it's linked between the keyboard and the PC, and it'll fill out this top section with the exception of the security code. And if the person's billing address is the same as the address up here, then you can click on same, and it'll populate the address. If you're using the generic customer, obviously you're going to have to type in their address, and then you would click process, and it'll go ahead and process it. But I'm not going to do that on this occasion because I'm not hooked up to the credit card processor. But the credit card processor can be your own, and remember, this is all PCI compliant. So finally, we can do a check money order, and we can type in the check amount. But let's just for an example, say that they gave you $3 for a check. I just want to show you that you can have more than one payment. And then maybe they gave you 17 cents of cash, so we have to do 0.17. And then, oops, typing is always a good thing. and then when we do this, save this one, there's no change, and it'll satisfy the full amount of the invoice. And now we can print that out, and we can give that to the customer. And if you have to have a sign out at your warehouse, then of course you can have the customer signature and your signature. And you can print 2 copies of these if you need to. And then finally, if you need to, you can send the invoice by email. I'm going to show you the online auction very briefly in a separate video because many of you don't do online auctions. But if you do, then it's a very simple process, and it's worth looking at that video as well. But here are your retail sales and your department sales.